Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the July 25th, 2023 Village of Bolingbrook Board Meeting. I am Mike Lawler. I serve as Village Trustee and also as Deputy Mayor for the Village of Bolingbrook. Mayor Basta is at a family event today and cannot be in attendance. So I'll be chairing the meeting. Before we proceed, I would like to mention the procedure for those who wish to make public comments later in the meeting. We have two spots, two time slots when that is done. For anything related to anything on the agenda tonight, that time slot will come up soon. For anything related to other business that is not on the agenda, that slot will come at the end of the business after votes are taken. So that's the important thing here is that just kind of walk through the procedure. Located by the agendas at the back of the room are several clipboards which hold sign-in sheets. We also have some up here by the village clerk. And if you wish to make a public comment, please fill out one of those sign-in sheets and please hand it to me or the village clerk before you proceed to the microphone to make your comments. This assures that your name will be recorded accurately in the minutes of the board meeting. Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, which tonight will be led by Pam Hirth.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pam. Pam's a resident in Bolingbrook and someone we've known each other for just a few years. So.
And a former employee.
I wasn't gonna, but if you want to talk about, yeah, former very valued employee. So we're glad to have you here tonight. All right, Madam Clerk, can you please do the roll call?
Deputy Mayor, Trustee Zarate? Here. Trustee Quintero?
Here.
Trustee Kelly?
Here.
Trustee Lawler?
Here.
Trustee Doris?
Here.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Here.
Next, we have approval of minutes from the regular meeting of July 11th, 2023. I have a motion, motion to approve the minutes from that meeting.
So moved. Second.
All right. Any discussion regarding the minutes? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes from July 11th, 2023?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next is approval of the agenda. Village Attorney Olson, any modifications to the agenda for tonight?
None, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Okay, thank you. So I'll ask for a motion for approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting.
So moved. Second.
All right, motion Trustee Quintero, second Trustee Doris. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. We have no approval of appointments, boards, and commissions tonight. We do have, under reports of officers, this is the part of the agenda where residents can come up and speak to items on the agenda for tonight. And as I mentioned, if you have already filled out the form, we'll just have you come up and here to the podium. Any questions or comments should be directed to me, and then we'll make sure that those comments are included in the minutes. And with that, we'll go ahead and entertain anyone who wishes to. Oh, before I proceed with that, Madam Clerk, is there anyone who has sent an email or outreach with any comments regarding any of the agenda items on tonight's meeting or anything else?
No, Deputy Mayor, we've received no comments in advance that are to be read at the meeting tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so if you wouldn't mind coming up, you filled out the form. If you just let us know your name, and you don't need to say your address. We've got your address on the form.
Yes, good evening, Deputy Mayor and board members. My name is Pamela Hirth, and I am a resident of Bolingbrook for over 30 years. I'm a retired community development professional. I worked for the Village of Bolingbrook for almost 12 years, back in the early 90s and the early 2000s. I'm here this evening regarding ordinance number 23-028, which is the ordinance which would approve a special use permit for the cannabis dispensary and an impact agreement for Cookies to be located at 190 South Weber Road. I'm here I'm objecting to this particular type of use for two reasons. One, personal. I have a son who is dependent on marijuana. Started with it when he was in his early teens and continues to do so, and he's almost 30 years old. The reason why that concerns me, and probably concerns many other families who experience this situation, is that when you have a mental illness, you can't get yourself fixed right when you can get a quick fix by smoking some marijuana. It prevents them from seeking the appropriate treatment because it's a quick fix. But that's not the only reason why I'm here. I'm here as a former professional who spent almost 30-plus years evaluating special use permits on all types of levels. I look at this particular special use, and I had 4 questions that I had asked at the Plan Commission. However, none of the 4 questions were actually answered. But I look at this special use, and I question the need. When you look at a special use permit, there's criteria to evaluate that special use. One in particular, which always sticks in my mind, is the desirability and the need in a particular community. How do we know that we need this additional use? We have a new one that just recently opened. Is the demand so great that this destination type use requires a second use to be located on the other side of town? In addition to that, I did some research, and just in this general location, there's approximately 20 existing dispensaries, most of which are within an 8 to 10 mile radius. That does include ours and a couple others which are a little less than that, and one that's about 16 miles. We talk about crime. As we're all well aware, and I'm signed up for the Bolingbrook Police News Brief, there have been several armed robberies on Weber Road in a very short period of time. One at BMO Harris Bank, which is right next to the subdivision that I live in, and one at the Meyer gas station. This type of business is cash only, though I'm not certain on this particular one what percentage is cash versus debit cards, but it's a cash only business that's open almost 12 hours, 7 days a week, and contains some very valuable product. What does that mean for the crime at that location? Is it another target that we have to worry about? And here in the police briefs, that there's been an armed robbery or an attempted armed robbery. That concerns me. It concerns me not living next to it, but also concerns for the residents that live next door. I asked about the safety because at the Plan Commission meeting, they talked about how they have this safety program in place and that, it's going to ensure that everything's going to be fine. My question was, they referenced that there were 50 units in the Cookies brand. I asked, of those 50 units, what have been attempted robberies or completed robberies on any one of those businesses? There was no response provided. I also asked, what is the percentage of community residents that actually benefit from this type of use versus people from the outside? It's got great access right off of Weber Road, so we're going to be drawing in people outside of the community. It's a destination use. It's not a community-only based use like a bank was. So what's the percentage of people outside the community that are going to come here to buy their product? My other question was, what's the percentage of product that's CBD product versus the actual marijuana product? Pretty much, you may all well aware, you can buy CBD product in a lot of places and a lot throughout the community. There are even consultants that sell it, like a Tupperware or Pampered Chef kind of product. And then other question I had was, I just lost my train of thought and I apologize for that. But these are questions that I have, an evaluation that needs to be done on this particular type of use. We've spent a long time not having them, and now we do. What is the real need, and what is the benefit to the community overall? Having evaluated these types of special use permits in general, I just don't see, as a professional in this trade, that there's really a need for this type of business, and what benefit does it serve? We have one already. We need to see if that's really even going to truly be successful as they hope. The last thing was the hours of operation. Ivy Hall has very limited hours of operations throughout the week. This particular type of business, adjacent to residential, is asking to be open 7 days a week, almost 12 hours a day. And it probably is 12 hours a day if you look at when employees have to get there and how long employees have to stay. Is that really appropriate next to a residential use? Is it really needed in this community? I don't think so. So please, if anything, just think about my presentation this evening and really evaluate whether this is a need that the community really, desires. I've talked to my neighbors. Many of them are not in favor of it. Unfortunately, they're not here this evening. Had I been more aware of what was going with Ivy Hall, you probably would have seen me at the Ivy Hall public hearing as well as at the board meeting when you were voting on it. Please think about, what does Bolingbrook want to be? We've always been one of those communities that were very family-oriented and friendly. How is this business family-oriented and friendly? Because there are others out there that experience the same thing that I have personally, and it's not a great place to be. So please, and thank you.
Thank you. Next.
I'm Teresa Carrillo. I live in Bolingbrook, across from this proposed dispensary. I am speaking as a resident who is opposed to the proposed cannabis dispensary called Cookies at 190 Weber Road, number 23028. I am opposed because recreational sales of marijuana pose a number of health and public problems. The American Academy of Pediatrics published that accidental childhood cannabis poisonings increase from the edibles that are sold when recreational marijuana is legalized. The National Institute of Health's Library of Medicine notes the following problems with legalized recreational marijuana: unintentional overdoses requiring acute care, a 15% rise in fatal vehicular accidents based on driving high, vaping-associated lung injuries, and higher rates of cannabis use during pregnancy. SAMHSA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, reports the results of marijuana use during pregnancy include stillbirth, premature delivery, problems with brain development. SAMHSA also lists these facts related to recreational legalization of marijuana. 1 in 10 people over the age of 18, who consistently use marijuana become addicted. I have a dead stepsister who died when she was 39 because she was addicted to marijuana. She couldn't keep a job. She couldn't help her family. It was a travesty. Today's weed has 3 times the THC as 25 years ago. Addicted users lose 8 IQ points cognitively, which doesn't improve even after quitting marijuana. Weed causes lower reaction time when driving. We've heard that this dispensary is easy in, easy out. I would counter to say maybe easy crash and the easy out to the morgue or out to the hospital. Weed causes lower career achievement. Most people are not going to say, weed got me where I am today. Is that what we want for our future? Our future generations that live here in Bolingbrook? One study showed increases in loitering and public smoking of weed, and that came from the state of Colorado. The proposed dispensary is in a family-oriented space. With the new building of the apartments, there are new sidewalks, which are lovely. People are walking their dogs, strolling their babies in a baby stroller, walking children. People walk to their local mosque, church, Andy's Custard, Eiffel Waffle. This is not the kind of retail store as what Cookies is selling that should be in that environment. It doesn't support a family image. The title, Cookies, And this was brought up by on the commission board last week. How is your marketing? And they assured us that it's okay because we can only sell to people 21 or over. Well, we sort of have the same problem with alcohol. We have a problem with teenage alcoholism, and now we're just going to be adding to it with teenage drug use. The cookies really markets to young people. Also, this business borders on residential private property. In my opinion, we don't even need Ivy Hall, but at least it's not bordering on a resident's private property. We were told last week there would not be a fence. There would only be 2 rows of shrubs behind cookies and the residents. Bolingbrook has one dispensary less than 2 miles away. We don't need our local high school sandwiched in between 2 cannabis dispensaries. Bolingbrook High School's theme is Honor Bolingbrook, Honor the Raiders. There is nothing honorable about the example that is being put forth to the next generation to consent to a second dispensary. It is my hope that we would actually pass an ordinance where dispensaries cannot be right next to private residential property. You have Ivy Hall. Maybe what's done cannot be undone, I suppose. But don't do more damage with additional dispensaries. Thank you for listening. I do oppose this dispensary.
Thank you very much. Next. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. My name is Usman Mia. I'm a resident of Bolingbrook. I belong to local Muslim community over here. We Muslims in general oppose to any decision or agreement that is harmful to the public. We oppose to give permission to locate any cannabis store in our town. The more convenience we provide, the more possibility we create for our youngsters to use the vices. We Muslims request the trustees to vote no, and we will help those in the next election who are against the social vices. And there's a question, what is the health benefit of this store? Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hi.
Hi, my name is Brian Haney. I'm 373 Lyons. Lived here for about 27 years. Seen a lot of amazing growth in this town. A lot of great things that we could champion. We got excited when the Meyer grocery stores came in, when the Promenade came in. Those are all things that were a value added to our community. As was already said extremely eloquently by these ladies, we already have one dispensary. And I could go down the same road they said. I mean, marketing with a name like Cookies. I mean, who are we marketing to? I have 7 kids. It's a concern to me for the other children out there. I appreciate the board. I appreciate the mayor. I've seen the support, whether it's through Panther Sports Club, whether it's First Responders Day at Independent Baptist Church. You guys are involved in the city. And I appreciate that. I remember having a concern after Mayor Clara left, like, are we going to have somebody else step in who really cares? And I think you guys do care about this city. And I just think there's nothing that this is going to add except for maybe some tax dollars, but really value added. And I feel for the people who live over there. I mean, no realtor is going to say, and by the way, a real selling feature on your house is you're right next to a cannabis dispensary. That's not going to be a value added right there. But I think being intelligent and creative people, I think we can do better for our town. I think we should do better for our town. Of course, we, as citizens, I mean, we welcome more business into this town. It helps us thrive. It's just good for everyone. But there's just nothing that really is added here. Nobody's being denied access to marijuana. I was just at a Panther Sports softball tournament, and I mean, somebody was smoking right there by the concession stand with the kids around. Now, I know it's legal and everything, but, and I don't think you're really even supposed to smoke on Park District land, cigarettes or otherwise, but I just really hope that as a group, you can see the heart of the citizens here and see that this is just not really going to make things better for our town. And so I definitely agree with these people here. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that aren't here, that if we somehow pulled this town, we would see that it's not really needed, it's not wanted. And if, like I said, if there was some huge benefit, we could talk about it, but there really isn't. So I appreciate you taking our comments. Hope you have a great evening.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, thank you very much. For those who have questions, let me just, if I may, I started my public service with the Village of Bolingbrook by being appointed to the Plan Commission several years ago, and I served there for 5 years before being appointed to the Village Board. I wanted to walk through the process of how we got here with dispensaries in general. And this is a process, is a little bit unique because of the legalization of marijuana in the state of Illinois. But for any development, there's some common activity. So we've got another item on the agenda tonight for a business to be approved. But when this was initially approved by the state legislature, several years ago, the village board opted out at that point because we didn't feel we had enough information on the reality of what actually happens with a dispensary. We certainly had information from other states, but we wanted to see the impact on the state of Illinois and surrounding communities. And so fast forward a couple of years later, we had some data about a number of different things, impact on the community, and among those were crime statistics and things like that of the reality of what actually happened in surrounding communities, Naperville, Romeoville, and as Ms. Hurth mentioned, there are 20 locations in, I'll call it Chicago and suburban Chicago. So we waited and got some updates on it. One of the main two reasons, this and Ivy Hall are medicinal and recreational facilities. So we may know someone, I know I do, who needs this particular product for medical treatment, and they receive a medical card from the state and are permitted to get that. So that was one of the considerations. So once we decided to take another look at it, we developed ordinances that went along with the state law, but also went beyond it. And we'll address some of the specifics that were put in the ordinance as we get closer to the vote, just to give you some background on it from our village attorney. But it starts out with staff, and staff goes through and reviews the application of anyone who wants to build a business or open a business, and they go through and they make sure they're compliant with national standards and village ordinances and things like that. Next, it goes to the Plan Commission for their review and a public hearing to receive comments from the public. And then following that, it goes to the village board. Does it stop there? No. With any business, any type of business, once they're given a business license, then staff stays in touch and observes for any operational issues that don't comply with the reason the business got the license, and So enforcement happens on an ongoing basis. You're correct in the fact that consumption of marijuana outside the home is illegal. And so that's an important thing, and we remind people of that all the time. But what happens with staff, and this happens with liquor, tobacco, and now with cannabis, we have sting operations that people who are purposely underage and go out and try to buy product at various locations that sell these products throughout the year. And then if they're not in compliance, then they get notified and they can even lose their license. There's a license issued to sell liquor, tobacco, and now cannabis. So this is an ongoing effort. We also, over the years, as I've experienced, we also take a look and see if adjustments need to be made to how we do things as time goes on. So we make adjustments to ordinances and take a look at things. We try to be thoughtful ahead of time. In this case, we took a longer time to gather some information that was relevant to this particular business operation. And maybe at this time, I know we've got a few other things, but maybe it makes sense, since I started explaining Attorney Odelson, maybe you can go through and talk about some of the particular actions that were taken to put ordinances locally and the state ordinance as well.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. The state law has a great number of prohibitions for municipalities that allow these types of facilities. We took the state statute as a model, passed our own ordinance, and enhanced and increased some of the prohibitions already outlined in state law. Just a few of them. We make it unlawful here in Bolingbrook for a cannabis business or establishment to engage in advertising that is false or misleading, promotes overconsumption of cannabis or cannabis products, depicts the actual consumption of cannabis or cannabis products, depicts a person under 21 years of age consuming cannabis, makes any health, medicinal, or therapeutic claims about cannabis or cannabis-infused products, includes the image of a cannabis leaf or bud, or includes any image designed or likely to appeal to minors. That's just some of it. We then enter into an impact agreement, which you have in your packets today, which goes above and beyond the statute and above and beyond what the state requires, requiring the facility to contribute additional funds to the municipality to partake in volunteer efforts of over 100 hours a year in volunteer efforts in the community, and other things in this separate impact agreement, separate and apart from what the General Assembly has already prescribed. We have met with the owners of this facility and have sent them, as I think we're going to talk about, to the Plan Commission, where it was vetted again at the Plan Commission. So the ordinance that's brought to the board tonight is after an incredible amount of vetting, including by the police department and by the impact agreement that we add on, which many other communities do not add on, I should tell you, to make sure that the business not only complies with state law, but our law here in Bolingbrook, and will be closely, if approved, will be closely monitored.
I'll go back to, whichever way that's, should this be approved tonight, this doesn't stop here. I mentioned it before, but there is ongoing monitoring of the business to assess the impact. And in my years on the village board, we have made adjustments. And in fact, we've had businesses who obtained a license for a particular use, and they were not in compliance, and their license was taken away. So we do actively monitor. We just don't any business at all, and we make sure that what is approved by the village board after staff review and after plan commission is complied with on an ongoing basis. Yep, and tonight, one of the things we added recently, we used to combine this, but on the agenda tonight, you're going to see consent agenda items. And in the past, when we had items go through the Plan Commission, they would send us the Plan Commission report for acceptance by the village board and also the accompanying ordinance. So the village board voted on accepting the Plan Commission reports and also on the ordinance in a combined motion. Recently, we went to a slightly different model and having the consent agenda have some items in there. And in this particular case tonight, you'll have 2 Plan Commission reports, which are a documentation of the proceedings from the Plan Commission. And we simply are, but through the consent agenda process, are accepting the receipt of these and then approving them rather than individually with combined motion in years past. Following the consent agenda items, the actual ordinances approving the special use permits are voted on individually by the trustees. So hopefully that provides some insight into the process and helps understand how we got here today with this particular type of business. All right, with that, we'll proceed to bill approval. We have bill listing A, which is $1,597,149.11, and bill listing B, which is $3,162,850.11, and that includes a bond interest payment of $2,641,224.50 paid on July 1st, 2023. So a total that we're requesting approval for is $4,760,008.22. May I have a motion to approve the bills as presented?
So moved. Second.
Motion trustee Carpenzano, second trustee Doris. A roll call vote, please, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Quintero?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, just as a note, we received tax receipts from combined state taxes and local taxes, and so this is just a readout of the tax receipts received in the past few months. May of 2023 state income tax, we received $1,110,986, which is a 33.23% increase from a year ago. The April 2023 sales tax is $3,378,977, or a 4.3% decrease from a year ago. And the May 2023 motor fuel tax is $266,976, which is an 8.1% increase from a year ago. The state has imposed an administrative fee to collect and distribute the taxes to all local municipalities. And for April 2023, we paid the state $27,541. Okay. Next, we have motions. And this is, first one is a motion to amend Resolution 23R-047 and 23R-048 to replace the words Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity with Heritage Corridor Convention and Visitors Bureau. And this is just a wording update. The village approved projects at its last meeting, and Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Development is funding the projects, but they're giving the money to the Heritage Corridor Visitor Bureau to disperse. These 2 projects, were approved at the last meeting, and so therefore we have to have this agreement between the village and Heritage Corridor, and this motion amends the resolutions of the projects at the last meeting to reflect the same language. Any questions?
No questions, Deputy Mayor, but I believe there's an event happening in early August at the Promenade that I think we'll start to get to see some of this stuff. So, your funds and your state funds hard at work coming, I think, August 3rd at the Promenade.
Yeah, and that's going to be the unveiling of the Route 66, commemorating the path of Route 66 through Bolingbrook.
And we're also working on, Mayor and Board, one out front with some EV chargers and more of a nostalgia look out front with roadways and old-time lighting and things like that to commemorate and celebrate the Route 66 project.
Okay, good. All right, we have a motion.
Second.
Motion trustee Kelly, second trustee Zarate. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, trustee Quintero,
Yes.
trustee Kelly,
Yes.
trustee Carpenzano,
Yes.
trustee Zarate, trustee Lawler,
Yes.
trustee Doris.
Yes.
Next, we have the consent agenda items. I referred to those a little while ago. Plan Commission Report 23.04, approval of a special use permit for a commercial recreation facility, American Martial Arts Academy, 107 West Boughton Road, Suite B. Chang Hyun An, applicant. And again, this is the Plan Commission report. The second is the Plan Commission 23.05 report, approval of a special use permit for a cannabis dispensary, Cookies, 190 South Weber Road, Dennis Jabaro and Carmen Rossi, applicants. And so at this time, I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda, accepting these Plan Commission reports.
So moved. Second.
A motion trustee Doris, second trustee Carpenzano. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, trustee Quintero,
Yes.
trustee Zarate,
Yes.
trustee Carpenzano,
Yes.
trustee Doris,
Yes.
trustee Kelly,
Yes.
trustee Lawler.
Yes. Motion carries. Next are resolutions, and the first one is Resolution 23R-064, authorizing a contribution to the Community Service Council of Northern Will County for family and individual clinical counseling. This is part of the village's annual budgeted contribution. This is for counseling services for Bolingbrook residents and helps offset costs for residents. The Community Service Council, just on a historical note, has been around for a few decades and serves Romeoville and Bolingbrook, Northern Will County. And that's about it on that one. Any questions on that resolution? Okay, I'll have a motion to approve the resolution, 23-R64.
Second.
Motion trustee Quintero, second trustee Carpenzano. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, trustee Kelly,
Yes.
trustee Quintero,
Yes.
trustee Carpenzano,
Yes.
trustee Zarate,
Yes.
trustee Lawler,
Yes.
trustee Doris.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, Resolution 23R-065. This is approving the execution of a master services agreement and task authorization number 1 for professional services between HBK Engineering LLC and the Village of Bolingbrook. HBK Engineering, formerly known as Rumpy Sharp, will compile bid packages and oversee the smoke testing, televising, and repairs to the sanitary sewer system. This is a multi-year program, and it covers, may have somebody say where it is, but it areas number 1, 2, 2A, and 8, but it's different neighborhoods in the village. So what happens here is the engineering company comes out and checks for leaks in the sanitary sewer system using this technology of smoke testing, televising, and then we've done this in several neighborhoods. This is a continuation of the program. We have found through this process some severe issues that needed repair and have taken action on that. So it's proved to be a valuable service in the past. This professional agreement is covers the engineering and oversight by HBK Engineering. So the total cost for engineering will be $81,000, and this has been reviewed and approved by the Public Services Committee. Any questions from the trustees? Okay, so entertain a motion to approve Resolution 23R-065, execution of the master services agreement.
Second.
Motion trustee Zarate, second trustee Kelly. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate? Yes. Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Quintero?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly? Yes. Trustee Lawler?
Yes. Motion carries. Next is Resolution 23R-066. This is approving the execution of a master services agreement and task authorization number 2 with the same firm in HBK Engineering LLC in the Village of Bolingbrook, subject to attorney approval. And this covers Area 3 of the village. And again, this is funded through the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. This project is budgeted at $500,000 all told, but the engineering portion for this contract is $60,000. This, again, was reviewed and approved by the Public Services Committee. Any questions from the trustees? All right, entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Motion trustee Kelly, second trustee Carpenzano. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate? Yes. Trustee Quintero?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly? Yes.
Just want to make a note for those here and those at home as well. We made the comment that these are reviewed and approved by Public Services Committee. This is a subcommittee of the entire village board of trustees, and staff presents to them the items that they were requesting approval for. We had Public Safety Committee earlier tonight as an example. And it all starts back at the budget process, the annual budget process, where these projects are included in there. This is the end of the effort for, as far as approvals go, to secure approval for the actual contracts as they're brought to detail. So just a little background on the process that's followed with these items. Next, we have Resolution 23R-067, and this is approving payment to the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, IEPA, for the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System. And this is NPDES for acronyms, permits, sludge generator permit, and stormwater permit, MS4, along with the annual fees to the IEPA. And this is for sewage treatment plants 1, 2, and 3, and the village stormwater collection system. The budgeted amount is $49,000, and the request is $500 under the budgeted amount. This was reviewed and recommended for approval by the Public Services Committee. Any questions from the trustees? Okay. Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the payment to Resolution 23R-067 for the payment to IEPA?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Carpenzano, second trustee Zarate. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Trustee Quintero?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate? Yes. Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly? Yes.
Next, we have Resolution 23R-068. This is approving a road maintenance agreement with the Bella Vista Homeowners Association. The village will handle street sweeping and maintenance of the roadway surface only. The Homeowners Association is still responsible for maintenance of streetlights, curbs, sidewalks, parkways, underground utilities of their private roads, and that includes snow plowing. The agreement is for 20 years and can be terminated by either party with 90 days' notice. Any questions from the trustees on this resolution?
No questions, Deputy Mayor, but I'm glad to see this on here. I know Trustee Kelly and I even visited some homeowners a few months ago and heard frustrations here, so I'm glad this is getting buttoned up. This will be a big win for that community.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions? All right, hearing none, may request a motion to approve Resolution 23-068 Road Maintenance Agreement with Bella Vista Homeowners Association.
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Quintero, second trustee Kelly. Roll call vote, please.
Deputy Mayor, Trustee Lawler,
Yes.
Trustee Doris,
Yes.
Trustee Zarate,
Yes.
Trustee Quintero,
Yes.
Trustee Kelly,
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinances, and the first is ordinance 23-027. This was also addressed in the consent agenda with the acceptance of the Plan Commission report. This is approving a special use permit for a commercial recreational facility, American Martial Arts Academy, 107 West Boughton Road, Suite B. This is a special use here is for a martial arts studio. This will be a premier martial arts studio open to all ages. The hours of operation will be Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, and closed on Sunday. This was reviewed and recommended for approval by the Plan Commission. Any questions from the trustees, comments? This is just west, it's the southwest corner of Boughton and 53. Just to note that. All right, so hearing no questions, motion to approve ordinance 23-027.
So moved.
Motion trustee Carpenzano, second trustee Kelly. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, Trustee Quintero,
Yes.
Trustee Zarate,
Yes.
Trustee Kelly,
Yes.
Trustee Lawler,
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano,
Yes.
Trustee Doris.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next is ordinance 23-028, approving a special use permit for a cannabis dispensary and an impact agreement. Name of the business is Cookies, 190 South Weber Road. The applicant is seeking a special use permit for a cannabis dispensary. The dispensary is licensed by the state to procure cannabis from licensed establishments for the purpose of selling or dispensing cannabis and cannabis-related products to purchasers or qualified medical patients and caregivers. The use would require a photo ID to enter and be limited to those customers over the age of 21 in accordance with state statute. Per the applicant, the requested hours of operation would be 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. This again was reviewed and recommended for approval by the Plan Commission. Any questions, comments from the trustees?
Just a few comments I would like. One, good government is when folks like you all come on and speak to the board and have a voice. There's countless others that have emailed us. One even stopped me at the water park the other day in person. I'm a father of two. I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old daughter. Don't think that I'm naive to everything that was discussed today. A few things on the positive, though, that I think we do here, I would say differently. I'm hoping differently. Attorney Olson already described a few things that we've enhanced our ordinance with, but also our ability to watch and see. I listened to the great presentation, I see the applicants here, that they gave to the Plan Commission. I reviewed their entire PowerPoint presentation that was given, as well as the ordinance in front of us. And I think there's adequate safeguards here. Now, that doesn't mean that the safeguards can't be observed post-opening, and I think we need to be cognizant of that. Even things that were described in Plan Commission relating to screening and shrubbery and things that were discussed, I think we need to see how that shakes out. Obviously, right now, it's a concept plan. I'm sure they're busy on securing property and securing actual ownership. So there are a few things we do have to watch. And I think our public services team, as well as our public safety team, will keep the administration, Mayor Mary, and this board well in tune there. Just a few other notes, and I know Attorney Olson already covered some of the restrictions here. I am pleased to see, I looked at some of the other properties across the country and how they're branded, and I think we did take a Bolingbrook spin on this. I think we went a little classier here, and I think we toned down a bit to what may be in other markets. I don't want to speak on behalf of them, but just looking at pictures and street views, the product that's in front of us, at least conceptually and in design, looks better than I've seen in other areas. So I'm glad that staff and I'm sure the legal team made those changes here, and I'm sure Mayor Mary had her hand there to make sure that we presented a good product here in Bolingbrook. So I do want to thank everyone. There's obviously folks that haven't come today to have their voice heard, but this is good government, and I do appreciate you all. And I would encourage you, if you didn't already, please go back and listen to the Plan Commission meeting. There's a lot of details there, way more than what can be talked about here, and I think that will give you a little bit of background as well. Thanks.
Any other comments or questions from the trustees? All right, before we vote, I do want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and also for those who reached out individually. And as Trustee Carpenzano mentioned, between this vote and the actual opening, there can be some adjustments. We approve the concept of it, but in my experience, again, we've had people, businesses make adjustments prior to opening. So just want to, and also we are watching after opening and making sure that everything approved is complied with. All right, hearing no other questions or comments, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please. A motion.
We need a motion.
Motion?
So moved.
Motion trustee Doris,
Second.
second trustee Carpenzano. Roll call vote, please, now.
As Deputy Mayor, Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Quintero.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Kelly.
Yes.
Trustee Doris.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Is there anyone who wishes to speak tonight regarding anything not on the agenda? Okay, we'll go to trustee comments and reports. We'll start with trustee Zarate.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I would like to thank everyone who came out to support H2O's golf outing and everyone who worked so diligently to make this happen. Everyone at H2O, the board members, the staff, Ryan, Adam, the Claires, everyone who helped build this organization. To make this event such a great success, and to all the businesses in Bolingbrook who donate as well. I admire the passion, everyone who does care for our youth, because they are the future. And these kids, they need a little more attention, and it's wonderful to see that people do care about them, because the event was very successful. I do wish I could have been there. I haven't missed an event since I've been on the board, but I would just like to thank everyone who came out. And we have great businesses in town, and they're always willing to donate, to our kids. So thank you very much. And I would like to say to my son Terrence and his wife Cindy, I had to miss the golf event because I have a new grandson, and he decided to come a month early. So his name is Alexander Terrence, and I wish them the best, and I know they're going to be great parents, and wish them well. Thank you.
Congratulations. A quick note and correction before Mayor Mary sees the video and yells. Mayor Mary, in addition to Trustee Kelly, was with us, of course. How could I leave out Mayor Mary when we referring back to the Bella Vista conversation that I referenced earlier? So she did not text me, but just in case she sees this later, I want to make sure she knows that, of course, she was there as well.
We'll delete those comments.
Please do. Maybe Clerk Barton, let the record reflect that. I don't know. Okay, a few important announcements. Our Pathways Parade, the registration for schools, nonprofit organizations, et cetera, to sign up to be in the Pathways Parade is now open. The parade is, of course, on Sunday, September 10th. Steps off around 2 o'clock. But if you do want to register, this is the time now to start to register and plan. You're going to go to bbcca.org, and you'll see the Pathways Parade registration link there to get signed up. This year's theme is Rock and Roll Beach Party, which we'll all be hoping that we celebrate in September. That's all for announcements tonight.
All right, just one event to put on the calendars. We have the Taste of Bolingbrook coming Saturday, August 12th. This will be taking place from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. This will be hosted at the Promenade in conjunction with the Bolingbrook Area Chamber of Commerce. I've just been notified by Trustee Quintero that the Chamber is looking for volunteers for this event, so if you are apt to volunteering, stop by the Chamber at 201 Canterbury Lane. It is Building B, or you could just give them a call at 630-226-8420. Again, Taste of Bolingbrook, Saturday, August 12th, 11 to 9. I do want to thank the residents, of course, for coming, just going back to the cannabis topic. Pam, Teresa, Usman, and Brian, your questions, your concerns, they're extremely valid. As a elected official, I try to take in as much empathy as possible, but I do not make decisions on a personal note because I don't think that would be fair to the village and the board. So I try to look at the scope with a great voice of reason. Of course, as Attorney Alderson said, the amount of vetting that goes into these decisions, and then just community engagement and response, of course, is important. I do see and understand the concerns, and I do understand that these are realities for some people. They do affect their family. But now I'm getting a little bit personal, but I do feel as a village trustee and as a board member, we do need to be a bit self-aware and inclusive to opportunities and businesses that do want to come to Bolingbrook, whether it's to enhance their brand, their product, or to be in an environment that they feel comfortable to be in. With concerns regarding crime and having a cannabis business, I don't think they want to be at a deficit either. I don't think they want to get robbed. So for them to feel safe here, they know the dangers. It is a big decision for them as well. And I do understand that. And for the duality of this as well with the residents, I do understand that there are personal addictions, there are the birth defects, but on the flip side, there are other people dealing with chronic issues, diseases that also need help, that may not have access to other cities to get these medicines that they may need. So I just want to message that I do see both sides. There is a duality to this, and I don't want to speak on behalf of the board, but I do think we all can understand that that is a reality that we have to juggle and make decisions based on. So thank you for coming. Again, your concerns and questions are heard and valid. But we want to, again, make sure that we are putting our best foot forward to keep our community safe. I don't think we want to make any decisions to put any detriment into Bolingbrook. We all love Bolingbrook, so just a little bit of personal note. That's it.
Trustee Doris? Okay, coming up this Thursday, July 27th, there's a street market at the Promenade from 4 to 9. There'll be live music, fresh meat and produce, and some crafters. So stop by Thursday, 4 to 9 at the Promenade. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Just a quick note with regards to the vote that we just took. As a father of 2 teenagers, I want to thank all the residents for coming in and speaking on behalf of that and the opposing. This was not an easy decision. I want to thank staff, and I want to thank our attorneys and the new company that came in for all their due diligence. And as it was mentioned, we will ensure that everything is followed accordingly. So please rest assured that that will be the case. Thank you. As far as announcements, I want to go ahead and congratulate Joshua Derkowitz. He's a graduate of BHS, class of 2012. He has advanced to the quarterfinal rounds of the Favorite Chef competition hosted by celebrity chef Carla Hall. To vote for him, please visit favchef.com, and that's favchef.com/2023/Joshua-Derkowitz. The winner will be featured in Taste of Home magazine and will take home $25,000. For more information, check out the Patch article that was written about him and his journey. Congrats to the Raider. He no longer lives in Bolingbrook, but obviously as a former resident, we want to go ahead and applaud, definitely go ahead and back him in his dream to become a chef. Secondly, the state of Illinois is holding a job fair right here in Bolingbrook. So attention job seekers, join them for the opportunity to meet state employees who are looking to help you start your career with the state. They will show you how to navigate the website and how to access applications online and much more. This will be July 27th, Thursday, 2023, at the Community Center, 201 Building A, Canterbury Lane. This will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Just a few of the agencies that will be present is the Illinois Tollway, Illinois State Police, Secretary of State, and the Gaming Board, just to name a few. For more information, contact John Hall at john.hall@willcountyillinois.com. And then lastly, our very own Bolingbrook Lions Club, they're holding a free vision screening Thursday, July 27th, from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. This will be at the Promenade Mall, next to Hemingway Trails and next to Lane Bryant. For more information, visit BolingbrookLions.com or visit the Facebook to obtain more information. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. Just a couple of reminders, or one reminder, our concert series continues tomorrow night behind Village Hall. These are sponsored and put on by the village. The band performing tomorrow night is Soul to the Bone. I'm not going to jinx it with the weather discussion, but we think we're in good shape there. And again, thank you to everyone for coming out tonight. As I mentioned, so I've been on this board a long time. We have made some difficult decisions, and we have pivoted over time, and we observe, and we watch, and we keep an eye on things, and do the research ahead of time and follow up if things are not working out. So thank you again for coming and participating in the process. And with that, I'll entertain, we do not have any executive session tonight, so I'll ask for a motion for adjournment of this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Quintero, second trustee Zarate, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries, we stand adjourned.